permanently deleted files in a computer go? So when you delete a file, permanently delete a file, you will think that you can't access that file again because it's permanently deleted. But no, it does not go anywhere. It's still on your hard drive or SSD only. So, well, your computer doesn't delete anything. They are right there in your hard disk, SSD, or whatever you use. When you delete a file, you just change the pointer to a new address on your hard disk. Pointers are special types of data that points to the location where the actual file is stored. Large files are usually stored in multiple locations in a hard drive or an SSD. When you open a file, the hard drive follows the pointer to the present data, which means then when you open a file, then the hard drive just locates that pointer where the file is kept, and then you can access it. So the file is never erased. It is present physically on your hard disk, but the address where the file is located is made available for the next read-write option. You can get those files back using special software unless the location has been overwritten. Although overwriting doesn't guarantee that your files are gone forever. Now another fact about the same topic, that organized criminals in Ghana, a place, have managed to recover confidential data from dumped electronic wastes. So if you are working for any secret agency, it's better to destroy your hard disk rather than throwing it away. Or else hackers will just take away your data, or any other person, with the help of some softwares. Fact number 2. What is the resolution of the human eye? Or we can simply say that Fact number 2. We all know that mobile cameras or normal cameras are around 48 megapixels, 108 megapixels, and so on. But do you know which lens? I'm not talking about camera, I'm talking about lens can take the best picture. So that's your eyes. Because eyes have 576 megapixels in them. I can explain it that in good light, you can distinguish two lines if they are separated by at least 0.6 arc minutes. Equivalent pixel size is 0.3 arc minutes. Now, if you take a 120-degree horizontal field and 60-degree vertical plane as your total plane of view, then the resolution of your eye would be 120 into 120 into 60 into 60 divided by bracket starts 0.3 into 0.3 bracket close, which is equal to 576,000,000 pixels, which is equals to 576 megapixels. Fact number 3. Now you know that everything has a mass or weight, but do you know that sunlight also has some mass? The sunlight is composed of photons. Reaching the earth definitely has equivalent mass. That's the reason the area covered in shadows weigh less than the areas being pushed by the light. And now I'll tell you how much sunlight comes on the earth per day. So per day, the sunlight emitted is 3.7 into 10 raised to power 24 kg. It is around. Okay, not the exact answer. If you collect all the sunlight in a perfect mirror box, the mass of the box will increase by that amount because of the photon energy. Furthermore, freely streaming massless protons are deflected by gravitational fields. Now again a fun fact, that on a sunny day, Chicago weighs 140 kilograms more, simply because sunlight is falling on it. So a sunlight can change things' weight to a lot of extent. Fact number 4. Now you think yourself, what will happen if all people on this earth jumped together? You will think that earth will get destroyed or the land will just burst out. But no, nothing will happen. There are more than 7 billion humans on earth. That means total human weight could be approximately 7 into 80 billion kg, right? However, the total mass of the earth is 5.9 into 10 raised to power 24 kg, which is comparatively way too high. According to Sir Newton, there is always an equal and opposite reaction to every action. So technically, there will be a tiny impact. And if all of us jump together at a particular place, and that would be 30 centimeters above the ground at the exact time, then we can push the earth away from us about 5 into 3 into 10 raised to power minus 14 meters. A long calculation, which is 1/100th of the width of a single hydrogen atom. And when you get back on the ground, the earth would move back to its previous position. So in short, nothing will happen to the earth if all people on this earth jump together at a particular place. Fact number 5. Now we fire gun on our earth, but can you think of firing a gun in space? You will think that guns cannot be fired in the space because there is no gravity. So the bullet will just float in the space. But you can fire a gun in space because guns don't require oxygen to work. So the vacuum of outer space won't be a problem. The gunpowder is completely self-contained and doesn't depend on the atmosphere. The gun will work better in space. The bullet won't have to compress or push the air in the barrel because there is no atmosphere. And it can travel infinite distances in space. Because it is in space, it will curve eventually. The orbit of the bullet will be different depending on speed and position of the bullet from the orbit of the person who fired it. Firing in the straight direction of orbit will result in eccentric orbit, and because the universe is expanding continuously about 73 kilometers per second per mega per second, the bullet will never stop and will travel forever alone. On the moon, if you fire a gun of 1600 meters per second bullet speed at the horizon and then wait for a while, you will get shot in your back because of that bullet which you fired previously. Fact number 6. Now we all know that first person who went to moon and walked on the moon was Neil Armstrong. But do you know how many people walked on moon? So total number till now are 12. I'll name them. First one was Neil Armstrong, who traveled there through Apollo 11. Then Edwin Buzz Aldrin, Apollo 11. Charles Pettit Conrad, Apollo 12. Alan Bean, Apollo 12. Alan B. Shepard Jr., Apollo 14. Edgar D. Mitchell, Apollo 14. David R. Scott, Apollo 15. James B. Irwin, Apollo 15. John W. Young, Apollo 10 orbital and Apollo 16 landing. Charles M. Duke, Apollo 16. Eugene Cernan, Apollo 10 orbital and Apollo 17 landing. And the last one is Harrison H. Schmitt, Apollo 17. Now another thing, who were the people who orbited the moon? So they were also 12 in number, which were Frank Borman, Apollo 8. William A. Anders, Apollo 8. James A. Lovell Jr., Apollo 8 and Apollo 13 as well. Thomas Stafford, Apollo 10. Michael Collins, Apollo 11. Richard F. Gordon Jr., Apollo 12. Fred W. Hayes Jr., Apollo 13. John L. Swigert Jr., Apollo 13. Stuart A. Roosa, Apollo 14. Alfred M. Worden, Apollo 15. Thomas K. Mattingly II, Apollo 16. And the last one but not the least one is Ronald E. Evans, Apollo 17. So that's it for today's video. If you liked the video, then please like it, share it with others and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, but don't forget to watch my other videos as well, because they will entertain you. Thanks for watching and bye.